Eric, hello there to you. So let's start with this speech tonight. What are you expecting to hear from President Trump?
Well, considering that the president has seen his approval ratings drop, and now that we're in the mad rush of the holiday season and the economy has become a major anxiety point for many Americans, the president wants to begin to reassure the voters and also make clear of where he stands and how he's going to continue to make their lives better. So the expectation is that we'll hear the president, of course, do a victory lap about how great things have been over the year, but also reassure voters that this administration is doing everything it can to address issues, particularly around rising prices and inflation, even though we continue to hear the president say that this issue and this concern about rising inflation and prices is still a hoax.
Okay, so you expect that he will stick with the same playbook, that he will not be more open or show more sensitivity to the fact that people are paying more.
That's right. And we've continued to hear that from his White House press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, who continues to suggest that inflation is down, pricing is down, and that the president's economic policies are, in fact, working, even though we continue to see and hear from American voters and consumers of something very, very different. And, of course, that situation is only becoming increasingly more dire as we know there's a scramble in Congress right now to figure out a way to address the rising healthcare crisis that will hit at least 25 million Americans beginning in the first of the year.
Okay, a lot of people still talking about that Vanity Fair interview with Susie Wiles, Trump's chief of staff, someone who has been very loyal to Trump and vice versa. She is criticizing the article after giving a number of interviews to Vanity Fair on the record. She's calling it a hit piece. She said that it was disingenuously framed, and she said that President Trump is the finest president, as are the White House staff and cabinet in history. So she didn't deny she said those things, but nonetheless, it's interesting to see the reaction to it, even from President Trump, who says he still stands behind her.
Yeah, and the town is completely abuzz over this Vanity Fair piece. And of course, many are speculating that Wiles, who is the first woman to helm that job, is seen as the most powerful person in all of Washington, save for the president. In fact, during Donald Trump's rally last week in Pennsylvania, the first that he's done this year, he actually started at that rally calling Wiles Susie Trump, given her influence and her importance to this administration, and also to what he figures will be a very successful 2026. And so what we're seeing right now is, while certainly there is a mad scramble and a rush to defend the White House chief of staff, these comments, certainly the writer of the article stands by them. And it's important to note that these interviews began even before Donald Trump took the oath of office. So these interviews span the course of the entire year, with, we know, some of them even taking place in the office of Susie Wiles, the White House chief of staff.
Yeah, and just a final note on this. What I found really fascinating, Eric, was to hear about the discussions, if you want to call that, at the White House within the administration about tariffs, because certainly it sounds like President Trump was almost on an island when he was defending using tariffs. Others were not in agreement with this policy.
No, you're absolutely right. And she was setting the record straight. And what was so ironic about this, and you're right about the tariffs, is that the fact that she went on the record when most reporters will get this information on background or off the record from individuals, to allow them to speak more freely about what is happening, but also to ensure that they don't step on the president's message itself. That is what is so striking, what is so startling about this. And when it comes to the tariffs, what we heard from her directly is that, you're right, there was a massive fight in the administration, and that many actually thought that the president should move slowly with the tariffs. But nevertheless, she makes clear that she was in disagreement with the president, and that it was the president who charged full speed ahead. And she made clear that her job was simply to facilitate his vision, no matter how chaotic or how damaging it would be be for Americans, for the global economy, and more importantly, for the president's own record.
Eric, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.